heart to the Lord, when you give your life to the Lord, he promises then that he will never leave you nor forsake you. It seems like some things in our lives that we just want to throw in the towel and say, God, you know what? I'm tired. I can't take no more. I'm just through. You need to pick up that towel and tell the devil he's a liar. God will never leave you nor forsake you. Things may not be going just the way you want them to go, but the Lord is still looking out for you. He's still protecting you. He's still there to support you. Whatever is going on in your life that don't seem just right or that's causing you pain, causing you to hurt on the inside, the Lord is still there to support you. Listen, forsaken, he says, I will not forsake you. And see, when a person don't forsake you, they may not be hanging around you all the time. Well, see, God is omnipresent. He's there. He's everywhere at the same time. But we are not. So when a person will not forsake you, they're out trying to take care of things that they know what you're going through. So that they have to leave you for a little while to go and take care of business, so that to make sure that what you're going through, that you will be supported. And so that's how we do in the natural. But the Lord can be right there with us and support us. He can work things out that's going on in our lives all around us to make sure that things come out good. And that's how he did Jesus. He died on the cross, but it was already taken care of that he would rise on the third day. And when he rose on the third day, he rose with all power in his hand. The devil is a liar. Stop allowing the devil to convince you that God is not on your side, that he's not by you, that he's not working it out just for you. Woo! Hey! You have to understand that God loves you. And this whole world don't like you, your children, your mama, your daddy, and nobody else down the line. But God is on your side. There is not one thing you can do to make God stop loving you. There's not one situation you can go through to make God stop loving you. He's there. He's there. He's there. And he's working it out in your behalf. I know Joshua, listen, when Joshua took the lead that Moses had, he saw what Moses had gone through. But at the very same time, taking the lead is a different situation. And so the Lord was saying to Joshua, I'm going to be with you as I was with Moses. God never, ever let Moses down. Even though it felt like it to Moses. Because you feel something don't mean it's God. It doesn't mean it's godly. Because you feel a certain way doesn't mean that God's not with you. Because you woke up this morning, you felt like God was nowhere to be found around you. And things in your life is just going bad, just going rotten, just going upside down. Don't mean God won't there. You know why? Because it could have been worse than it was. I taught a message on Wednesday night about how Paul was on the boat that was destroyed in the waters, and how we in hard places, and how we forget about God in hard places. And the man on the boat said, listen, he was going to let them be destroyed. But then the centurion said, listen, swim to the shore. He said, swim to the shore, and there was boards and pieces of wood out there in the water. He says, get on one of the boards and take pieces of wood and hold out to go to the shore. That was God had wood in the water for you to grab hold to. So sometimes there's little pieces of wood in the water that we have to hold on to. God is still making a way where there seemed to be no way. Sometimes you got to understand it's not going to be Sunday every Sunday. Forget Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But sometimes it's not going to be as smooth of a road as you have had. But it doesn't mean that God's not there. So in the place of worldly standards, the Old Testament in our everyday lives. It's talking in our everyday lives that we have to hold on and trust God and know that God is there when we don't feel him, when he don't talk to us. You know, you go into a service that's anointed, and it's, you know, a little hot, and the Lord starts ministering to you, and it's like, oh God, the Lord spoke to me, this, that, and the other, and then for 2 months later, you ain't heard nothing. Nothing. I mean, nothing. And people on your road just be having church. They can't even wait for the organ to get started. They just start praising the Lord, you know. And you start thinking, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm going through, but I don't know what's wrong with me. But you understand this. You may not feel a thing, but it doesn't mean that God ain't there. You may have even lost your praise. It don't mean that God is not there. Because in hard times, God is still there. In sick times, God is still there. You say, well, I don't know why he does that, because if it was that, I don't know why I got sick. Shut up. You here today. So God had to be in the room. God had to be in the room. When you understand that he would not leave you nor forsake you, we'll stop being lukewarm. We'll stop being sometimey. Okay, so the musician didn't make it today, so therefore I ain't have no beat. Get your own beat. I got a beat coming